Droners, what's up? And welcome to another edition of Droner News. We got DJI, the FAA, and Wales, they all acting up right now. So let's get into it. Coming up first, if you didn't already know, I love whales. Like, since I was a little kid, Brennan, what do you want for Christmas? Whales. That's what I want. Whales are the best. And so we have a whale story for you. We have drones helping track orcas. So the NOAA, which is the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, I didn't have to read that, is on the west coast of North Carolina. They've been on the west coast of North America, have been using drones, started to use drones to be able to track the movements and just the general health of killer whales or orcas. Recently, they kind of had a decline in their population. The population hasn't been super big anyway. They have like 77 now, but they actually, in 1998, they had like almost 100. So obviously their numbers are down. So they want to study and figure out what's going on. I assume these are huge drones because it's a $30,000 drone, like octocopters with giant cameras and 10 batteries and whatever, because it's $30,000 for the drone. I mean, we know what an Inspire 2 can do for like 10,000. So this must be something absolutely incredible. But either way, these drones are so good and precise that they're actually able to pretty much give each one of the orcas like almost like a doctor's checkup every single time they go out and fly. And this is a huge money savings for the NOAA, because before they were using helicopters to be able to go out there and get the same quality images, or actually even sometimes less. And it's super non-invasive and doesn't bother the killer whales at all, and they get to get all this information about their health. Now the issue is like I said before, their numbers are declining, and they're actually noticing because of this drone that not only are their numbers declining, but they're also noticing that these orcas are malnourished. And that's a big deal because their biggest food is the same thing that we do. We hunt, like we fish the same fish that they're trying to eat in the same area. So we possibly are overfishing the fish, which makes it so the orcas can't survive, declining their numbers and making it so that we're just killing more stuff than we intend to by killing the fish that we just want to eat. So hopefully they'll be able to make some form of recommendations and regulations for the fisheries to make it so that the orcas have enough fish to eat so that everybody can be happy and we can have super dope whales swimming everywhere. All right, coming up next, we have the FAA with more restrictions, because this is what they do now. As you guys know, when they came out with Part 107, they pretty much promised that more regulations would be coming, and guess what? We got some more. And these regulations are very specific. These are national monument regulations. They pretty much, FAA is just banning that there's 10 national monuments. They were just like, you are no longer allowed to fly within 400 feet of any of these national monuments, which for me, I'm like, that is beyond reasonable. I wouldn't need to get within 400 feet of a national monument anyway. They're normally huge, and they're also normally really crowded, so you can't fly over the people. So you kind of have to be far away to do anything. But some of the list is the Statue of Liberty, Mount Rushmore, Hoover Dam, the St. Louis Arch, and more. There have been plenty of requests from local officials to be able to have drones be banned. I mean, even when I was in Las Vegas, like, I saw a bunch of people illegally flying at what's it called? The Needle? The Las Vegas Needle thing? I don't know what it's called. Stratosphere, bam, it's the Stratosphere. They were flying around that, and there's signs everywhere that said you can't do that. And if you just sit there and pay attention for 3 minutes, you'll realize that Vegas is really popular for having helicopter tours. So a bunch of helicopter tours and drones in the air at the same time does not work. So this ban takes effect on October 5th, which means that as of the taping of this, oh yeah, you guys are way past due. Do not fly around national monuments. Check out the FAA website. It'll keep you updated on all of that, as well as use your before you fly hover. And we did a whole nother video on all the different ways that I make sure I'm flying in safe places. So you should be doing the same. Coming up next, we have a gauntlet. It has been thrown, it has been dropped. And I'm actually using that term because our producer, with Droner, his name is Rob Fonda. That's his statement of like saying like, yo, it's on, it's about to go down, like a challenge has been issued. I don't know. I've never used a gauntlet has been thrown, but he says it all the time, so I'm kind of adapting it. But either way, a gauntlet has been thrown by a Japanese company called iRobotics. And the gauntlet has been put out like this. They were like, yo, guess what? We in 2018 are gonna make a drone cross the Pacific Ocean. We dare anybody else to do it before us or better. And they put it out there. They're like, yo, who's gonna do this? And guess what? Saberwing, that's probably right actually. Saberwing Aircraft, which is a Silicon Valley-based company, was like, you don't think we could do that? No problem. And they actually took up the challenge because they were already working on a long-range battery-powered drone. So only stipulation that they have here is that it has to make it across without any kind of refueling, any kind of anything. It's just like battery-powered, gone. And they believe their batteries can do it, iRobotics, and so does Saberwing. So this is pretty much a race, like almost like, for me, it's like a super mini space race. And the interesting thing is that iRobotics is keeping like all their specs of their drones super close to their chest. The only thing that we know is that it's battery powered and it's supposed to be able to make it across the Pacific Ocean. But SaberWing's being a little bit different. They're like, nah, man, we've been doing this for a while. Our specs are on the website. Come get some. You know, I love it. I'm a big junk talker, and I love it when people, like, I guess, throw gauntlets and, like, challenge each other, and I love competition. So this is really cool. I'm going to be following up on this to see who wins. Obviously, it might be a while. But, yeah, keep your eye on this, because drone world, be ready. This is, again, pushing technology forward that can make things better for all of us. So stay tuned. So, Red Bull, right? I actually flew for Red Bull event the other day for one of their downhill soapbox derbies. I flew for them. But the funny thing is, they hired me as a drone pilot. They didn't tell me anything about that they actually had a drone race. Red Bull hosted their very first drone racing tournament. They call it Dr. One, dr.one. You get it? It's dr.one, like without the dot. It spells drone, you know? All right, but either way, they got 18 racers from 14 different countries to compete in a 2-day event. Now, Drone Racing League is pretty cool because the drones have really cool lights and they race around like stadiums, and it's like everything's neon, everything's cool. But Red Bull, being Red Bull, had to give it wings, I guess is what you would call it. They added a lot to this. What they added was literally flames, waterfalls, and air pressure jets. Pretty much just to mess with the racers and make it more interesting. Is like these racers not only have to get through their obstacles, they have to avoid flames, water, and wind, like earth, wind, and fire. Is that earth? Either way, we'll call it that. Leave me alone. But that's pretty cool, right? Like, I've always wondered, because the Drone Racing League is cool, but I always feel like there wasn't any risk involved. It's like when you watch race car or NASCAR or something like that, you're really into it because somebody could die. You know, this is like people put their lives on the line. And obviously this isn't changing that, but I'm like, if it's nobody's lives on the line, well, we might as well just make up the danger value, throw some fire in there, throw some water, throw some wind, you know, like maybe Captain Planet shows up, who knows? Either way, this looks really, really, really cool, and I really like this. I think Drone Racing League should take some notes. I don't know if they might want to do specialty races like this or whatever. And the other cool thing about this is that they actually had 0 requirements for entry. They were like, yo, what if it races, it can be in the race. Like, they didn't say the blades had to be a certain length. They didn't say the batteries had to be anything. They're like, if it fits through the obstacles and can fly, then it can enter this race. So it was held in Austria. Austria actually took first place. And yeah, it was like, I'm impressed. So it was held in Spielberg, Austria. And they got pretty interesting is that first place was, well, Austria. Second place, Russia. Third place, Poland. And yeah, I mean, just looking at these videos, it's amazing. And for me, like I said, Drone Racing League might want to take some notes because honestly, if you want to up the value, make people want to watch drone racing, as they are already, but stay involved, you got to add some stuff to it. So BattleBots meets drone racing, have fun. And last, but definitely not least, or I guess depends on how you look on it, we got some DJI news. DJI did their soft launch of their local flying mode. For a recap, we've talked about local flying mode before because of the Chinese issues that the US government was having with drones. They said no government, anybody can use a DJI drone to fly for anything just because it's made by China. And they're all connected to, you know, they all do data upload while they fly. So DJI, in response to that, has released a local mode, which means that it does not actually upload any data to anywhere while it's flying. Everything is just you, the drone, the controller, and whatever you are capturing, which is something that a lot of people have been asking for a long time. And they just actually released the soft version of this. Now, there's some interesting, when I say a soft launch, soft launch means that it doesn't go out to everybody in this instance. And what they actually mean in this instance is that it goes out to everybody but Apple devices. Like, it works for the Crystal Sky device tablet that they have. It works for Android devices. It works for literally everything except for Apple, which for me is really ironic because DJI drones can be bought in Apple stores because Apple and DJI have an official partnership, I guess. And I thought they were homies, but now they're just like, yeah, so we're putting out this new software on everywhere but Apple. Maybe it's because Apple's difficult with their software restrictions and that, you know, to be able to get something approved for the App Store takes more time and they really want to get this out because of all the concerns. I don't know, but I do know that that's really interesting that is coming out on the least used platforms for their drones. Like, more people are using iPhones or iPads for flying DJI products than anything else, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, that's what I use. But who am I, you know? Either way, you should keep your eye on this. Check out your drones and see if you actually can download the local mode, see what it does for you. I'm going to be playing with it as soon as I can, but I got Apple products, so I'm not buying a tablet just so I can figure that out. I'm going to wait. So it's up to you, but either way, I'm really excited about that because I don't want them stealing my data about things that I'm shooting anyway. So yeah. Droners, thank you for checking out this awesome Block Island, Rhode Island edition of Droner News. If you want to see more, we got them, because we got a bunch of Droner News episodes. Or if you want to see a great intro video to a drone channel, we got that too. Check it out. As always, there's 3 ways to support us. You can go ahead and subscribe, you can hit up one of these t-shirts, or you can hit up our Patreon page and support us financially, because that allows us to keep doing this kind of thing. As always, I would really, really, really like it if you stayed fly.